Hey everyone, this is the Black Manga Critic here with another video for the channel. Like today, I also put out a review for Welcome to the Ballroom, episode 2, which I thought was like definitely a step up from episode 1. But this video ain't about that. This video is for Dragon Ball Super, episode 99, and this is just gonna be like, again, another general review and sort of semi-analysis of the episode, just because like, if I'm going to analyze, like if I'm going to really analyze something, like it's got to have like a bunch of substance. And Dragon Ball Super is not like an anime that's about substance at all. Like it's not about that. I'm just going to I'm going to tell you all you like Dragon Ball Super like stands like you know the good honest truth. Dragon Ball Super is not a substance show. It is a show that's about flashing lights and really interesting character designs. But in terms of like the story, narrative, things of that nature, like I'm not particularly interested in any of that. I'm just gonna be honest straight from the jump. Like I don't really care about like the storyline. I don't really care if the angels might be evil because because that wasn't obvious like from the get go. You know what I mean? Right? Like we understood that the angels aren't going to be eliminated in terms of the universe is being destroyed, like the certain universe is being destroyed. So, okay, I don't really care about that. I only and I don't really care about certain characters being developed in terms of Krillin and Android 18, and so like this episode was like some people might have said, oh, this episode was like great or whatever, but like generally this episode was like pretty like meh. It's another meh. Like it's not a terrible episode, but like, in the grand scheme of things, it's always like most of these episodes are gonna be pretty meh until the big fighters fight, right? So this episode was pretty meh. All right, like again, it was a whatever episode. Really focused on Krillin and Android 18, and their like relationship dynamic and things like that. But like that doesn't I'm not gonna say who cares about that because I think like clearly like people care, otherwise they wouldn't be watching this episode and wouldn't be as popular and the show wouldn't be as popular as it is. But I generally don't really give a shit about Krillin or Android 18's relationship. Toriyama's not really good at writing romance anyways. So it's one of those things where it's I'm not particularly interested in watching their relationship develop because we should have seen that develop before they got together. You know what I mean? Before they get married. So you can't go ahead and do a time skip. For 7 years. And totally skip all the that whole part of Krillin and Android 18's courtship, and then expect me to care now because they're fighting in a tournament for their life or whatever, right? Because we know they're not fighting for their life. We know at some point either the Super Dragon Balls or some Deus Ex Machina is going to save everybody, so everybody will be fine. And even if they aren't fine, we don't really care about the other universes outside of Universe 7. If Universe 7 is fine, okay, great. Whatever. So, back to sort of the episode review, right? We don't see a lot. I mean, again, there were some things that kind of pissed me off. Just as a Dragon Ball fan, right? As a Toriyama fan. And things that just make it very clear that Toriyama doesn't really have much to do with the way that this plot is moving, not necessarily the plot, but the way that the narrative sort of is moving, right? Like Vegeta fighting that stupid that stupid robot and Botamo. I don't care about Botamo. I don't care about Botamo. I don't care about what is it, the Mosca sort of robot a guy from Universe 3, from Universe 6, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. They don't interest me at all. We understand that Botamo's weakness is that he's not very strong and that he can be thrown, but you can't hit him in sort of in the way that you can't hit Luffy with blunt attacks because he's rubber. So who cares? That's whatever. That was kind of boring to me. But what pissed me off about it was that Vegeta had clearly watched Goku fight Botamo before. So for him to start punching him, and think that if he just kept punching him, eventually his force was get through, that was ridiculous. That was so stupid. That's just stupid writer shit. You know what I mean? That's not even that's at that level of retcon that doesn't make any sense, right? That's just dumb. like Vegeta's not a dumb fighter. So for them to sort of show that like Vegeta didn't learn from the Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament is really ridiculous. So that to me that makes it clear that like Toriyama is not hands on with this project, with both projects, like but mainly the anime, like at all. It's just a stupid thing that I noticed. I guess like another sort of stupid thing was like just like the way that the narrators are constantly trying to tell us that we should be surprised and worried and really like scared and affected by Universe 9's destruction. Like I don't care about Universe 9's destruction. The only thing that I care about is getting to the end of this tournament. You know what I mean? Like Universe 9 is gone, great. Like they should have been gone in the first episode that the tournament started. Like I would have been happy there, because that would have meant that the pace would pick up. But that's not going to happen, because like the pace has to be excruciatingly slow so that Toei Animation can make as much money off of Dragon Ball Super as possible, right? But like that, like stop telling like viewers that like how we're supposed to feel. Like that's like a sign of a storyteller that isn't a good storyteller, right? Like this is like a bad like writer, bad storyteller, whatever, right? Like when you have to tell us how to feel. That's like if you were reading like any sort of novel or whatever, right? Or you're reading a manga and like the manga or the author is just like starts telling you like there was a deep, like this character was feeling a deep and a dark despair over the loss of blah blah blah. It's just like no, like you like it's like it's like if you've ever like taken a creative writing class or anything like that, or even talked to a writer, it's just like show don't tell. Don't tell me that like this is supposed to be like an intense moment. Like you got to show me that this is an intense moment, and they haven't done that. Like the way the universe was destroyed, like who cares? Like Frieza's like right, like Frieza's sort of saying like, oh man, like I don't really appreciate the way like Zeno-sama is a character that is like very lighthearted, but also like does like really intense and morally ambiguous things. Like man, I don't want to hear that from Frieza, right? All I need to hear from Frieza is just like the normal quips towards Goku and other like characters that he just that he actually hates, right? Like we know he hates Goku, but we don't really care about his disdain towards Zeno-sama. That doesn't matter because like there's nothing he could do anyways. So that general like telling us that we're supposed to be worried was annoying. I think like they need to stop doing that. When another universe gets destroyed, just be like, oh, another universe is destroyed, and then like and say that in like 10 seconds and then move the hell on, right? We don't need every character being like because the universe is destroyed and like taking like 5 minutes of the episode talking about how the universe was destroyed. Who cares? Move on. So I guess like those are probably like right like the two things that sort of pissed me off are like Vegeta doing stupid fighter shit when he's not a stupid fighter, right? Like he's a fighting genius and he's a very cerebral fighter. So that was dumb. Like and just like the narrator constantly telling us that like we're supposed to be distraught because the universe was destroyed. Like we don't need the narrator to tell us that shit. Like the story the narrative the way that the plot moves like should show us that should show us and make us feel that way. So like those are the two things I think that like really pissed me off about the episode. Just like the Android 18 and like Krillin stuff. Like I said, like I generally like I think like the one thing that I did like about that was sort of like the move that they did with the sort of beam like back and forth kind of thing, like where the beam got bigger as they sort of knocked it around. I thought that was interesting, and like the fact that like the beam was moving fast enough to where the fighter in the middle had to dodge, right? Like he had to consistently dodge, otherwise he would have been hit by it. And either he would have got knocked out and then thrown out of the ring. So I thought that was good. The sort of like Fox kind of Fox kind of fighter that Krillin fights, and that Krillin and 18 fight later on, like he was kind of like wasted. I mean, but like the character designs are just there to be character designs. Like they're just there to be like, oh, like Toriyama like is a great designer of character, like of characters, right? Like in terms of like the aesthetic. So okay, like he looked cool, but like the fact that like, oh, like the solar flare didn't work. Whoa, that wasn't surprising. Like that the solar flare wouldn't work. Of course, the solar flare wouldn't work. It worked before, so there has to be a point where it doesn't work because that's just like how Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super work. Like that's just how Toriyama works. So that was like whatever. The smell thing. That could have been used at like some point later on, and that would have been like in some other arc or whatever, maybe where he is like a character that's important to that like hypothetical arc, but he's not important to this arc. So like his smell ability is like another thing that I just don't care about. Like whatever, and like the fact that Krillin got knocked out, well, who cares? Krillin got knocked out. I mean, like, he's a weak fighter. I mean, like that's just like a fact. He's a weak fighter. Like he's not like one of the strongest fighters at this tournament, right? So he doesn't really matter. I don't really care that he got knocked out because there were 9 other fighters, right? So who cares? Krillin's gone. Good riddance, right? So I guess like in a general sense, I don't really care. I guess like I also thought about the Supreme Kai and how he was like, like I guess I understand that like you don't want to disappear from the face of like existence, right? So yeah, I'd be worried too, but I don't really care about his feelings because like in the last like sort of couple episodes, like he's been a moron, so we don't really need him, and he hasn't been particularly useful in Dragon Ball Super necessarily, and he wasn't really like super useful even like near the end of like FZ, right? So whatever. So that's really all I had to say about like episode 99. The preview for episode 100 looks pretty good, like right, like because Dragon Ball Super is all about flashing lights and action. So that looked pretty good. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that episode. I want to see what they do with like with the dynamics, among the Saiyans, right, of Universe 6 and 7. I'm interested in that. I really want to see that. I want to see if Caulifla goes, is going to try to go Super Saiyan Blue, but it seems like she may go like Ultra Super Saiyan, right? Which is like whatever. I mean, that like it's kind of dumb because it's like she already went 2, so we don't need to go backwards or whatever. And we're gonna get to see Kale. That'll be interesting. So all right. That's all I gotta say about Dragon Ball Z episode 99. It was a whatever episode. I'm not even gonna rank these episodes at this point because like most of them are pretty like meh. But if there is a really good episode, then I'd be like, oh, like that was a really good episode. But this episode was whatever. I don't care about Krillin and 18's relationship because Toriyama totally skipped that. So why the hell am I gonna care about their relationship now? So there's that. But this is the Black Manga Critic here with another video. And like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just, like I said, I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys think about this episode. Did you really like it? Did you think it was okay? Did you just dislike it? Did you agree with some of the points that I made? Did you disagree with some of the points that I made? Let me know in the comment section below. And, find me on Twitter. I'm always on. I'm pretty much on Twitter every day. Find me at the Manga Scholar. And yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can set up like a Facebook account. So one, I don't lose like that tag, right? Either the Black Manga Critic or the Manga Scholar. So I don't lose either of those tags. And that way, like I can actually have like fluid discussions with you guys through Facebook and also through YouTube. But Facebook is an easier medium for that. So again, this is the Black Manga Critic signing out.